What is up, guys? It's Powerbang here, and I'm bringing you guys the first ever episode of AxePB. You guys can leave me questions on Twitter by going to Powerbang Gaming on Twitter and sending me a question with the hashtag AxePB. Now, you guys have been doing that over the past couple of days, sending me all kinds of questions. I picked out a few to answer in this episode, so let's get right into it. Now, these are the first time that I've actually thought about any answers for these, so I'm just going to be rolling off the cuff here, just straight mad spitting answers, so bear with me. So the first question is from the Goodfellas. At Powerbang Gaming, if modding punishments were 100% your decision, how would you design the bandwave system? Now, I really don't feel that Supercell is that far off right now with the current process that they ban players with. The one thing that I would like to see is some more consistency in their process. That means that first-time offenders actually get that 2-week ban prior to being banned permanently. Now, I believe this is important because it's not only, being honest about what they said. I realize that in the terms and services, or terms of service for the game, they can pretty much take care of any account, just axe it, right? Axe it any given time for whatever reason they want to. They can choose to do that. If it says right in the terms of service that you cannot cheat or do any of that, or your account is subject to termination. So you know right up front that that's the risk that you run by performing these actions. Now, they did come out and say in a forum post before that first ban that everybody that got caught would be getting a 2-week ban. And, it'd be serve as basically a warning. Now, the reason I'm in favor of getting that warning shot first, two-pronged. First, there are a lot of people that modded, that cheated, that botted, that did other things nefariously prior to the first ban wave that came out several months ago, February, March timeframe. And they since reformed because they realized, you know what? I'd like to continue playing this game, but I don't want to take the risk of continuing to mod when I just saw all of my friends go down for using those, nefarious softwares. So there's that. People have reformed, have changed their ways. And if you get hit with a ban and realize that the stuff that you're doing can be detected, there is a good chance that you will, reform and change your ways. Now, I'm not saying that that's everybody, because a lot of people are of the opinion, once a cheater, always a cheater. Well, if that's the case, run regular ban waves. Don't wait 6 months in between like happened this time. Run regular ban waves, so after that 2 weeks is up, if they continue and go back to their nefarious ways, they get the axe permanently. So, next question is very similar to this one. This is by One Piece PD. It says, AxePB, what are your thoughts on false identification bans in the recent ban waves? Their requests are being ignored, as the rest who did break the terms and conditions. Do you believe this is acceptable? Now, my answer to that is, you got to understand that Supercell has a very high confidence level in their detection accuracy and detection volume. So they're, detecting quite a few accounts, and they're very comfortable with the level of accuracy of those detections. So that means that they're comfortable issuing lifetime bans for the people that they're catching. Now, to couple this with the last question, how would I design the ban waves? Here's where I feel like, it's an issue. The false positives, essentially, we'll call them, which is people being kicked out permanently for modding or botting or doing something that is against the rules when they were not actually doing so, is tough to say. Who are we to say that so-and-so is innocent? We don't know what they do when nobody's looking. We don't know what software is truly on their device. We don't know if they are telling us the truth. So, that being said, is it possible that somebody got banned inadvertently or without cause? I believe with the sheer volume of bans that it is programmatically possible that some sort of unexpected software with the sheer volume of accounts that got axed, I believe that it is possible to have a false positive. Now, I know that Supercell is saying it is a very low probability, if any, that the people that got banned were banned incorrectly. So, what about those that were, though? If there were such a scenario, a temporary ban for a first offense would be great, because then they could figure out, well, why did that happen? If we were not actually breaking the rules, what software is it on my device, or what process is causing the Supercell octopus to detect me as a cheater? It would give them that 2-week vacation to figure that out and change their ways if at all possible. They could at least contact support and say, here's what's going on. But unfortunately, anybody that had a false positive this time around, they were axed permanently, and they were told that their warning was back in February or March. So I totally get the other side of the coin saying that those that are cheating, they had their warning already, let's get rid of them. I'm all for that, but you want to make certain that you're making the right decision. So I'm in favor of a tiered system where a first offender is always given a warning shot, and the second offender, bye-bye. So moving on, let's try to get to some other topics. Daniel Tingay asks, what size shoe are you, Powerbang? And to give you the answer on that, depends on the brand, but for the most part, I am a size 15. I'm kind of a monster. David McDonald asks, Powerbang, I've only recently started watching your videos. I love them. Can you give me any other recommended channels that are similar to yours? Now, I can give you a couple channels right off the top of my head. Clash with Ash. You can find a link to him on the main page of my YouTube. He is one of my recommended channels. Very, very good clasher. Has almost 200,000 subscribers. Very good person as well. That's the, a big part of why I watch certain people is their character in addition to their content. You will find good Town Hall 8 through Town Hall 11 content, a lot more higher end stuff over on Clash with Ash's channel, and he posts daily. I would also recommend Clash Tutor. Heather does a fantastic job of breaking down stuff in its most basic of format, and she does a great job for the beginner, bringing them along to help them out. So definitely check her out as well. You can find her, Clash Tutor is the name. Look her up on YouTube, and you can also find her, I believe she posts once weekly on YouTube, and I think that's Friday. I may be mistaken though, but go over to her channel and check it out. All right, moving along. Tim Harrison asks, AxePB, how do you get away with so much game time? I keep getting that look from the wife. Even play in portrait mode to avoid it. Oh my God. So he's saying he plays Clash portrait mode straight up like this instead of normally like this. Now, I feel your pain, man. We've all kind of been there with the spouses of significant others. And I believe that it's very important for them to be in support of what you're doing, because otherwise it just causes problem. Whether or not she's right, he's right, you're right, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that you want to maintain that peace and harmony and that balance in your life. So one thing that I definitely recommend doing is making sure that if you're a married man, that your chores are taken care of, that your responsibilities are taken care of, and make sure you do that first before you get super into the game. That'll make sure that she knows that your priorities are still in the right spot, that you still care, and you're not getting swept away. Now, one thing that I have going that I'm very fortunate about, and I got you guys to thank for that, is the fact that, I started making content about this game over a year ago now, almost a year and a half, not quite, almost a year and a half though. And, it's grown to the point now where I'm actually able to generate a little bit of an income from this. So obviously, in my situation, the spouse isn't going to give me as much crap for it since I am earning a little bit of income. So not everybody is as fortunate though. So, you got to do the right things, in life basically to make sure that you're earning that playtime. Or there's always those people that say, listen, I do what I want. And then they do it and, screw them, right? But that's not what I recommend if you want to have a happy existence. Happy wife, happy life. Know what I'm saying? All right, so Awesome Gabe asks, AxePB, if you were to work at Supercell, what would you try to be doing to make the game better? Now, Gabe, first and foremost, the game itself is great. There are a lot of things that need to be improved and tweaked, but first off, it starts with the community. It ends with the community. I've been a part of so many different betas. I've been a part of so many different games on the high level, the elite scene. I've seen games rise. I've seen games fall. The games that have fallen, it most often started with the neglect, the lack of transparency, and the lack of communication with their community. I would hate to see that happen with Clash of Clans, and I've seen some glimpses of that that could definitely be improved on. So the first thing that I would do at Clash, if I was working there, would be to establish regular streams, broadcasts, outreach, blog posts, forum posts, all the different avenues as possible, to be transparent, to ask questions, to get feedback, to use that feedback. I mean, holy crap, right? There are millions and millions of people with brilliant ideas about this game. It would be great to see those ideas from the people that are so invested, so passionate about the product. It would be great to see that those people's ideas get recognized and put into the game. Next, I would hire more staff to test. I would bring in additional people, build a bigger beta type of group where people are actually testing in real life situations the changes that are being suggested for the game. I feel like too often that testing is done by very few individuals, many of whom lack the experience at the highest of levels, and the results have translated into the final product more often than not, and you end up having to make adjustments that could have been foreseen very easily with the right people involved up front. So a couple of things, big things that I would do right away: better communication, better testing. Moving on to the next question, Ward Henniker asks, roll tide as always, go Bama. Burnout from the game is common for war clans. How does WHF try to prevent that? More or less, we try to encourage our guys always to have fun. We want to be serious. We want to be elite. But at the same time, we realize it is a mobile game. We are all playing this to have fun in our spare times, and we try not to look at it like a job. That being said, there are leadership that is expected to handle and manage, many of the tasks. And we've recently done an overhaul to divide roles and responsibilities amongst the leadership so that everybody is carrying a more or less equal weight, where they have very small tasks that they're able to pitch in on to make sure that the clan is run very smoothly and efficiently, but it's not on one or two people to kind of carry the load and thus burning them out. Because if you don't have that structure and you continue to have one or two people doing everything, they will burn out, and then the person that takes their place will burn out, and the person that takes their place will burn out, so on and so forth, until you don't have much of a crop left to actually lead your team. So split up those roles and responsibilities evenly. Try to get more people involved in your leadership team, and never assign people stuff to do. Always take the people that are stepping up naturally and volunteering for those tasks without demanding the leadership title. Those are the people that you want in leadership. Reward the people who lead by leading. Next up, we've got Niraj Ramsinghani. Probably mispronounced that. If I did, I'm sorry. But Niraj says, will Clash of Clans ever introduce a feature where heroes that are on upgrade can still be used in war attacks? Now, I highly doubt this. There's no reason to. It is a huge revenue stream for them, and people continue to play the game and spend money on gems regardless of if they have made this change or not. So I don't see it coming. I don't ever see it coming, and that doesn't really upset me either. You learn to use different methods to work around that. You either just attack, you find a clan that fits you, or you spend the gems here and there to speed up the upgrade time. Next up, we've got Francisco Vieira. Hey, PB, I love your videos. What about the Pokemon Go videos? Totally understand. I haven't done one of those in about a month. I actually do have one recorded. I've got to get that out on the channel ASAP. It's going to be a sponsored video, actually, and I've got some power banks to give away. Power banks, know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give away some power banks to you guys, and you'll hear more about that contest in the near future. It's just come down to I've been extremely busy. Clash has had a lot of stuff going on. I've had to spend a lot of time in Clash, both in leadership and in the backroom chats and whatnot inside Supercell. And it's just been really hectic. In addition to that, I've had some family stuff come up, as well as traveling to Finland for a whole week out of the month. So I'd like to get back to doing those in the future. Cullum asks, at Powerbang Gaming, you mentioned a lot of PWC bans in the recent ban wave when it was only 3. Details? Cullum, thanks for the question, man. I did want to clarify some stuff that I said in an earlier video regarding PWC. Now, I was very disappointed with the fact that we brought on a bunch of PWC guys a couple of weeks before these bans went down, and a large portion of those, accounts that we brought into the clan did get banned. Now, was it all PWC? Absolutely not. Am I trying to throw shade at PWC and condemn their clan and tarnish their reputation? Absolutely not. All I'm saying is that we had 7 accounts get banned in WHF. 6 of those accounts came from the PWC merger. Now, to be very transparent and open and honest about who got banned, it's right here in my, gallery. I've got screenshots of, who exactly went down and in what order. I'm just going to read them. Very straightforward. Rishi, Optimus Crime, Johnny Bravo, longtime WHF member, Sparsh, Cold Fury, Rush, and your boy. It's my understanding that there were a couple of people running multiple accounts as well. One individual was responsible for getting multiple accounts banned, I think up to 4, and a couple of those were not even his accounts. That's a pretty crappy thing to do. I'm very disappointed. That sucks. But in no situation is this me trying to make us look good. We've got egg on our face as much as anyone else because those accounts existed in our clans at the time of the ban. Me pointing out that, this happened when they came in. That was just basically to say this is not a long-term prolonged issue. This is a recent thing. And, it's something that a lot of people were against from the get-go. And I made a mistake in judgment in letting a lot of those folks come in, apparently. This is all hindsight. It's 2020, right? So I made a mistake there, and it's really, really disappointing. I have no issues with anybody, former PWC that's still playing. Obviously, you guys are good because you escaped the bans, right? The only people that I'm taking issue with here are the folks that were playing the game unfairly and without integrity. Now, that all being said, apologies if you guys took that as me attacking you or trying to tarnish your reputation in order to save ours. That's not the case. All I'm trying to do is when I have an announcement about the game, which I have every single time the game puts out an update, I've got an announcement about it. That's what I do on my YouTube channel. Now, it would be very tough to make a, hey, they banned a whole bunch of modders statement and then not acknowledge the fact that a bunch of people got banned in my own clan. That would be a little bit crappy. I would get kind of called out on that just a little bit. So I was just trying to put the names in the description and let that be the specifics. My first impression is that it was a whole bunch of XPWC accounts because we were wondering where everybody went. I was online when all that went down. So hopefully that provides a little of context about why I said what I said. I definitely didn't want to accuse, existing PWC or XPWC or Ninja Muffins or however all that works. It's really none of my business. I don't really care. All I'm saying is I was very disappointed in the multiple accounts that got banned, especially after I just went to bat and, kind of backed you guys and said that I believed in, everyone being fair play. They were very vocal about it. It was very hurtful to have that turn around and blow up in my face no more than a couple weeks after we brought you into the clan. So apologies that you felt wronged and hurt there, but, I just recommend playing by the rules. Hart asks, how do you switch accounts on your iOS? I can't get it to work. So how you do that is you go into your settings, go down to the tab that says Game Center, go to your account, sign out. Make sure that you have another account somewhere tied to a different Game Center account, which means you would need a separate email to log into. You would log into that email account, then reopen your Clash of Clans account, and it'll pop up that little box that says confirm. You type in confirm there, say okay, and it'll prompt you with a message saying, do you want to do this for sure? You might lose your old account. As long as it's tied to a Game Center, you are good to go. So just click the OK button. It'll pop up the new account. And you would do the same process back when you want to go back to the other account. Just go back to the Game Center, sign out, sign in. That simple. Anyways, guys, that is all the questions I'm going to go over today. The video's getting kind of long, 18 minutes so far. Let's cut it short here. If you guys want me to answer more questions next week on AxePB, feel free to hit me up on my Twitter. You can see it right up there on the TV screen. Follow me at Powerbang Gaming on Twitter. And feel free to ask me any questions with the hashtag AxePB, and I will make sure that I get to it next week, guys. So anyways, that's all I got for now. This is Powerbang. I'm signing out till next time, guys. Thanks for all your questions, and take care.